Hi everyone. So this video we will talk about basic classes of function. The first thing we're gonna look at is the linear function and their slopes. Okay. So if you recall, linear function is actually the equation of the straight line. So any straight line, you're gonna have a linear function, and usually linear function will have the power of 1, or the degree is 1. Degree of 1. Okay, so let's take a look. So in order to determine the equation of the line, there are a couple things that we need. The first thing is we want to know how steep the line is. Okay, and is the line have the increasing slope or decreasing slope? Okay, so the first thing that we will look at is called slope. So slope of the line is equal to the rise over run. So I pretty much believe everyone must heard about this. Slope is rise over run. So all change in y over the change in x. So how do we determine the rise? So if I have 2 points on the line, and this point is called x1, y1, and this point is x2, y2. Right? Then from the first point to go to the second point, I can go up some units called delta y, and I can go to the right with some unit of delta x. So this is going to be my delta y, and this is going to be my delta x. So that's why when we talk about slope, we're going to know that, oh, this is going to be the change in y over the change in x. We will have the direction to go from the one point to the second point. So similar to this one, if I want to go from this point A to point B, I need to go down and I need to go to the right. This is my delta y and this is my delta x. And the delta y, delta x can be found from taking y1 minus y2 over x1 minus x2. Some people also use the other order by using y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. It's going to be the same thing. They will give you the same result of the slope, but you have to keep in mind, if you use this order for the y, then you have to use the same order for the x. So which means if you use y1 minus y2 is the bottom, you have to do x1 minus x2. Okay, and that is the slope of the equation. So when you have the slope, then you can write the equation of the line passing through a point x1, y1, and have the slope m that can be written in 3 different forms. The first form is called slope-intercept form, which is y equal mx plus b. M is the slope. 0b is called the y-intercept. Okay, and then for the second form, it's called point slope form. The point slope form is y minus y1 equal mx minus x1. The reason why we call this is the point slope, because on the equation, you will see the slope and you're going to see the point. But on the first one, you will see the slope and you will see the y-intercept. That's why we call slope-intercept form. So the second one, m is slope, and then x1, y1 is the point, the given point. If the problem give you 2 points, then you can use any given point you want. Okay, you not necessary to have to use x1, y1. Any given point on the problem will be considered at the given point for the equation. And then third one is called the standard form, and the standard form can be found by taking the point slope form and then we simplify it, or we can take the slope and intercept form and simplify it. So the standard form is actually generated from the two form above. Okay, so now let's take a look at example 1. So sketch the line through the point and have the slope is 3. So the problem is give you everything already. They just want you to sketch the line and then also to write the equation. So I'm gonna sketch the line first by using the point and the slope. So I need my xy coordinate. And we will have to put in the point 3 and 2. So let's put in the point 3 and 2. Okay, so let's find 1, 2, 3, 1, 2. 3 and 2, this is the point that given. I call that is point A. And now I'm going to have to use my slope to get to my point B. So the second point. So what does use of the slope? The slope is actually tell you the direction, go from one point to another point. And it's also tell you the steepness of the line, okay? So in this problem, the slope is 3. Slope M is 3. So look like they don't have any denominator. Then what is my change in Y and what is my change in X? So this is will telling you the change in Y. So the rise is rise. How many units? Rise 3 units up. Okay, y is up because this is positive. So need to go to the positive direction by going up 3 units. And then positive 1 in the denominator, we'll consider we're going to have to use that to go to the right 1 unit. So if the numerator is positive, it tells you you'll go up. If the numerator is negative, you will have to go down. Okay, so we're going to have raise up 3 and right 1. So from here, we will go 1, 2, 3. So I will go 1, 2, 3, and then go to the right 1 unit. So right here. So I will have the second point. So from this point, 3 and 2, I get to the second point by going up 3 and 1 unit to the right. And I connect these 2 points, I will have the line. Okay. So again, the positive slope tell you go up 3 and right 1. If you have your slope as a fraction, then you're gonna have to go up whatever the fraction is. So for example, if I have 4 over 3, then this will tell you go up 3 and right, oops, not up 3, up 4 and right 3. Okay, if the slope is negative, like negative 4 over 3, then you're gonna go down 4 and right 3. Or up 4 and left 3. Okay, because there's a negative, so the direction of up and right will have to be opposite. So instead of going up and go to the right, you will have to go down and go to the right, or go up and go to the left. Okay, because they are opposite direction. All right, so that is my slopes and my graph. Now we're gonna write the equation. Since the problem gives you slope and the point, I'm gonna use the slope and intercept form. So we will have y equal 3x plus b. Okay, so the next thing that I have to look is for my y-intercept because I already have a form. You can use the first one. My mistake, the problem doesn't give you intercept, okay? So you can use the first one or can use the second one. So when I write the equation, I always use the second one because it's gonna make it more easier. So I will do y minus, where's my y1? This is my x1, y1. My y1 will be 2 equal my slope is 3 x minus 3 because my x1 is 3. And then from that, I'm going to simplify. So by multiply the 3 into the problem, so 3x minus 9. And then I'm going to add 2 on both sides. This will result in equation y equal 3x minus 7. So that's going to be the linear equation of the line that passing through the point 3, 2, and the slope is 3. Now, how do we find the equation of the line pass through 2 different points? Okay, so we do the same thing. We need slope. M is equal y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. So we will take, this is my x1, y1, x2, y2. So putting the value for the y2 is 7 minus negative 2 all over 1 minus negative 2. That will give me 7 minus negative 2 is 9 over 1 minus negative 2 is 3. So that gives you slope is 3. Oh, the slope again is also equal to 3 over 1. So now to find the equation, we're gonna use the point slope form. I'm gonna use y minus y1 equal m x minus x1. And we have everything, so we're going to have y minus -2 equal 3 times x minus also -2. Of course, can you choose the point 1 and 7? Yes, you can choose the point 1 and 7 and put that into the y1 and x1. It does not matter. The result will still give the same thing, okay, when you simplify it. So I will have y plus 2 equal 3x. We're going to distribute this. This become plus, so 3x plus 6. All right, so minus 2 on both sides, I will got the equation become y equal 3x plus 4. Okay, so this gonna be the equation of the line passing 2 point. Now let's take a look at the last example in this concept. We want to sketch the line using the slope and intercept form. So first of all, I will have to write this equation into the slope and intercept form. So slope-intercept form is when you have y equal mx plus b. So it means you need to isolate for y. So I'm gonna go ahead and isolate for y by adding y on both sides. When I adding y on both sides, I have 3x equal 4 plus y. But of course, we want y by itself, right? So we're going to remove the 4 in front of the y by subtracting 4. So then I will have the equation is y equal 3x minus 4. Okay, so when my equation gets into this form, then what do I have in this problem? I have the slope is 3. Slope m is 3. And I have the y-intercept is 0 and -4. Okay, so whatever the extra value next to the mx gonna be your y-intercept. And all we need to do is just get the line. So we have the point in the y-intercept, which is 0 and -4. So we're gonna go ahead and putting 0, -4 into the problem. So in order to sketch the line, you either need 2 points or you can have 1 point and the slope. So I already have 1 point, which is the y-intercept. So we're gonna have 0, -4. And then we're gonna use the slope m is 3. So this will tell you up 3 and right 1. Okay, so I'm gonna go up 3, so which is 1, 2, 3, and right 1 unit. So the second point will be at -1 and 1. Okay, so -1 and 1 will be my second point, and we will have the graph here. So if you want to get the second point by algebraically using the slope, you can start from this point. I have the y-intercept is 0 and -4. Since the slope is saying that you're gonna go up 3 and right 1, so it's gonna be +1 for the x and +3 for the y. Then you're gonna have 1 comma -1 at the point. So you're gonna have 1 comma -1 will be my second point. If you want to find the third point, you can do the same thing because they're gonna have the same amount of raising the chain in y and chain in x all the time. So the chain is constantly. So if you want to find the third point, you can just add 1 and add 3 again. You're gonna have the third point will be 2 and 2. So my 2 and 2 will be the third point on the line. Okay, so similarly, you can find infinite many points that you want by adding the same amount of chain every time because the linear function will have the constant rate of change. Okay.